The cold sunk right into the stones here.
This is why we use wattle and daub back home. Insulates properly.
If this keeps happening, you might want to keep a suit of armor for the occasion.
With the right materials, we can keep you snug as a bug in a rug.
If the surge hadn't hit so hard, the steps would lead to the spire. Alas. Elected representatives would convene there, including the Enclave's leader.
Imagine a time when Weavers had our own governing body.
This must be the Guild District.
Home to numerous trades, magical and mundane alike. Enchanters, smiths, coopers, glass workers, you name it.
Loom gate ahead. I'll collect its key swatch. Guild members must have made good use of this one.
Are these the embassies?
Envoy's Landing, yes. It wasn't by chance that visiting dignitaries had to walk across the verdant gardens to meet their Enclave counterparts at the Spire. Upper Denevron was designed to impress.
A body. Ahead. Outfit looks like our spying friends.
So, it's a uniform.
There's a note in his pouch. New drop. Market Loomgate, it says. But... wait. Under his mask, he's... scorched. Aurea, this looks like the wound on your wing. Only... it's... everywhere.
But there's no tangle there.
Could he have been caught in the flood?
Seems likely. Proof we should take that warning seriously.
I think we should look into that drop his note mentioned.
Especially if it's near a loom gate.
There's a small compartment here, hidden in the statue, already open and empty.
that as you entered the perch, the bustle of Denevron would begin to crescendo until it peaked in the market. The Tattered Mountain. I've heard so many stories of this tavern. Always rowdy.
These streets running in parallel are known as the Three Sisters. Many weavers hosteled here.
Careful! A sledgeworm can throw things over 3 times its size.
Before the surge, the Denevron market was famous across the Maida. Caravans left the Enclave with enchanted treasures.
Broker's Arch, the market loom gate.
Same spot as the last statue. Struck a vein, as my dad used to say.
Wait, I was half listening. Are you hurt?
Metaphor. Her dad was a miner.
We've got a tally sheet of some sort. Series of numbers below. And a bunch of garbled text below that. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I might. An abandoned city like Denevron. It must be full of supplies we could use. Do you think you could maybe grab some things for me?
You know I'm happy to help. What do we need?
I've noticed there are more arcs in the city.
So have I.
The upside is, according to Lane's logs, the ones carrying shields could be scavenged for assault. A metal we could use to reinforce all kinds of gear and facilities. A little heat would help in prying it off the arcs.
All right. I'll come back as soon as I have some.
Great. Thanks, Brynn. So, spare a little rassault for a good cause?
Right here.
I was actually thinking it would be good to start stockpiling some Akala hide. The nights get pretty cold here, and we could use it to reinforce our tents and blankets for warmth.
I'll be back in no time.
Thanks, Brynn. Please, hurry. Any luck hunting?
That should be enough for a few blankets and tents.
Oh, that's so great. I don't suppose you would mind getting something else for me.
Yeah, no problem. If you've still got room in the caravan.
I'm just thinking, in an unknown climate, we don't know how fast the seasons might turn here, and as I said, it gets pretty cold at night. We should stock softwood for warmth, like, a lot of it. To keep our hearth lit, you know?
Oh. Okay. I'm confused. The Akala hide I just brought to you isn't enough?
It's a start, for sure, but we need to be more prepared. Lots of softwood could really save us in a pinch.
Kaz, I've been bringing you all this stuff because I thought it would help you feel better. But honestly, you seem even more anxious now. Are you all right?
No, I'm fine. I really am. I just need to make sure the Weaver Band is okay.
Right. It's just... I'm trying to make sure you're okay.
Please. I really need your help with this.
All right. I guess I'll be back then.
Thanks, Brynn. Come back with it soon.
A dead body and a hidden cache of materials. It sounds like the start of a Skuld's tale.
All we need is a saber conveniently placed on the mantle and we're set.
More seriously, you said you had an idea about that sheet?
Before signing on with Aurea, I worked the relief ships between my home and Udea. A Don Brenning initiative, mind you. Our neighbours across the bay love to claim otherwise. The dockers always wanted big loads for the cranes. But certain things, like, say, herbs, you'd only ship in small quantities. Over the years, the convoys developed a system where you'd have runners and haulers. Runners would make quick trips and bring small goods to a drop. Haulers would pack the cargo together and make longer hauls to the docks.
You think we're looking at a similar system, then?
Absolutely, I do. It's the sheet you found. That's a requisition for a runner if I've ever seen one. And note how it says Scout Group 23 here? That's a lot of groups.
Which means my mysterious observer is part of a large organization.
And an active one.
What do we do with this information, then?
At the bottom of the sheet, there's that series of numbers and letters. Those would represent drop points. I did some digging with Lane, and they're referring to coordinates on a map of the Enclave that was made just before the surge. L7 is part of the capital, see? That's where you found this drop. So, I'm inferring that these other marked coordinates are just as likely to have drops.
I'll check them, then.
If nothing else, we could find materials for our own stocks. But I'm hoping there's more.
Maybe where our Hearthsiders are hiding.
Also, Lane was looking over the orders and wanted to talk to you about the writing along the bottom.
More drops, and talk to Lane. Got it. You wanted to talk about the supply orders?
Indeed. It's about the gibberish along the bottom. Notice how the writing is in a different hand?
Yes, I can see that.
We're looking at a cipher. Someone sharing encoded notes.
Sounds like we have a cipher to break. I'll keep hitting dead drops.
Any code is easier to break with more samples. You can work on it like any other research project. The hallowed pyre rise. Religious beliefs from across the Maida were practiced in the Enclave. But the Church of the Hallowed Pyre values monuments. They regularly erect temples and shrines.
To better spread their influence.
Why else would a religion invest in property?
This temple has seen better days.
The high pyre remains intact, though. Built to last.
should be a drop somewhere around here. Let's see. Supplies. That's good. More orders. Oh.
What's up?
Drops will be assigned to specific teams and tracked individually to deal with recent concerns.
That's boss talk for we're watching you because someone had their hand in the cookie jar.
All this light stone is reflecting the heat.
It would be so much worse if it were absorbing it.
Far jump, even for you.
Too bad I don't have wings.
Feathers wouldn't suit your face. Lane, any idea what that pillar is?
I did find a reference to the Trial of Fires, a rite of passage for new Bastion Sworn before they could cross over to their new life.
Crossing over? Trial of Fires? Unsubtle. Brynn, what happens if you make it hot? Nice work.
Pretty involved. Still, you'll have no trouble if it's your turn to head back out in the field.
Yeah. Be sure to scour the Bastion.
Was guarded by arcs. Access through the loom gate was restricted.
Tunnel. Judging from the size, it could have been a route for Archons.
Few sights are as impressive as a Highland ice claw mid-flight on a clear day. The way the sun reflects off its wings. Majestic.
Military stored supplies and weapons before the surge. Enclave soldiers would have slept here during training. The keep housed the Enclave's war room. Matters of high security were discussed inside.
It looks like the recorded minutes of the meetings that took place here. The last one is dated roughly 26 years ago.
What was it about?
A lot of information was torn off. Casualties got too high due to something they blotted over with ink. And the military commander should execute a defensive measure called asylum. Asylum? What could that be?
Scour the rest of the keep and find out.
Sort of access the keep.
A military workshop for enchanters.
The Enclave never used magic to expand its borders, but had to defend itself.
Against nations that thought otherwise.
Exactly.
Research notes from about 40 years ago, probably from an enchanter that worked here. Observing arc degradation. Looks like there was an expected and normal amount of degradation observed in the arcs following the surge. But once the arcs start killing civilians, it says this is a systemic failure. What could that mean?
It means the Arks weren't sent to attack us as a means of defense.
They've lost control over them.
A final note scrawled on the cover page. The Archons will be no use in Asylum's execution. Should be a drop somewhere around here. Another notice. Drops must be completed and all runners to safety before the next predicted flood.
This confirms they have a way to predict the floods, and some way to stay safe.
Let's stay focused on our runners for now. That's all of them.
3 supply drops. Not a lot of answers.
I believe I can help with that. Yes, and if the R is with the numbers of false increment that just indicates spaces. Ah!
Got it?
Yes. I'll translate all that we have and we can discuss it with Casmin.
Good stuff, Lane. We need all the information we can get.
And valuable insight into post-surge society that developed here.
Well, Codebreakers, how are we feeling?
Satisfied. We have enjoyed reasonable success.
That's Lane's way of saying they crushed it.
Notes being passed between a brother and sister, quite candid, and dissatisfied. In particular with their boss, who they refer to as the Grumple.
The Grumple?
A Renland myth, where ill-behaved children would be gathered up in a sack and tossed into the river to drown at the end of the year.
Bye.
The Grumple, yes. Renland fables prominently feature drowning as a punishment for children. The myth has fallen out of favor in recent decades, though. Ren society is less forgiving of flights of fancy.
The Grumple. Really?
Really.
Moving swiftly on. What else did the drop say?
Remember that ominous note about tracking individually in specific teams?
From the context provided by our hauler, we now know a significant number of Hearthsiders survived the surge.
But only just surviving. They relied on the runner-hauler teams. But supplies consistently went missing. There is also a sense that the Enclave was getting increasingly dangerous for the Scouts.
The floods, of course.
With supplies running thin, the supply teams were falling under suspicion of stealing.
This pair responded with the entirely reasonable, if exhausting, plan of overperforming.
I've done that job, Lane. Sometimes you just need to prove the ass in charge wrong.
Indeed. They collected a cache of rare items they were planning to turn in when they felt its size and value would erase any suspicion.
Do we know if they turned it in?
No, but we know what it was. Or is.
And that's where I come in.
like pulling you. Brace for it.
Everything all right?
Yeah. There's just so much. Oh. And a letter. Encoded like the others.
Can't wait to work it out.
So, the letter. I'm prepared for bad news.
How did you know?
They were collecting supplies for other survivors. We know someone is out there. The supplies never made it to them. That, and the tear stains.
Is that what that was? Yes, well, there's a lot to cover. We have the cache itself and our scrounging siblings.
We should at least give you the high-level details on both. Where do you want to start?
Talk to me about the supplies.
They did astonishing work. If I weren't sure they're both gone, I'd hire them.
Indeed, a robust collection, including several enchanted objects we barely recognize.
They had a keen eye for things that could decay and took care to preserve them.
You two sound giddy.
If there's one thing Lane and I are passionate about, it's preservation of rare objects.
That's enough about the cash.
Sure.
What did the final note say?
Yes, right. It was a farewell. One sibling disappeared. The runner.
I thought the runner of the pair was the one we found.
So did we. But this last message was a farewell to his sister. Apparently the Grumpole...
Really?
I know. But apparently their boss had been ordered to stop wasting resources on the search.
And so our hauler left this farewell, hoping his sister might find it on the off chance she was alive.
He was going to remove all their other messages so their plan wouldn't be found out.
We postulate he was on his way to do that when...
When the flood caught him.
These people, however many are left, they've really been through it.
They might really need our help.
They're still organized and have a command structure, but it sounds dysfunctional.
Let's move on to something else.
Of course.
So, where do we go from here?
We're not sure. It's something of a dead end. It is a win. We have restocked a number of very rare supplies, including enchanting supplies we don't have any immediate use for, but they'll be worth keeping.
For study, if nothing else.
I suppose the only other thing to say is, good job, Brynn.
Indeed. We have made progress in unraveling the shape of what the post-Surge society looks like in the Enclave. Further, these documents are invaluable to the historical record.
And maybe you put a couple souls to rest. Not to be sentimental.